Hello. Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here today. We're going to get a little clarity and see what's going on with the energy. It's a timeless reading. Whenever it finds you, it's perfect. It is a general reading. So see which messages feel like they resonate. You'll know when it twinkles. You'll know when it feels like it's helpful for you. And if it doesn't feel right, it's for someone else. Always follow and trust that beautiful and deep, direct, divine connection that is in you. To your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe, because the answer is always in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound, they're based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. We're going to start with the messages from your animal spirit guides and see what the opening message is, and then flow from there. Let's see what God's source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love for the highest, greatest good of all. What is the opening message that would be the most helpful for the collective watching this reading? We're going to start with a message for you, the viewer. What is the most helpful message right now? Please and thank you. What do the animal spirit guides have to say? It's time to break out of the comfort zone. It's time to get a little wild, become a little bit of a wildcat off a leash instead of always being that cat that has the same surroundings all of the time and looks out the window at the birds but never gets to go play and see if it can catch a squirrel. You know, it's like this particular card here. It's the domestic cat. Maybe you connect to cats. Maybe it's a feline energy, but there's something here where it's telling you to break out of your comfort zone, to see what it's like out in the yard. You know, it's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your overdependency on others, on anyone else. There's something really powerful in that message. There's something that you were relying on, or someone you were relying on, and they were like your crutch or your training wheels, and you didn't need them the whole time, but until you like took them off or dropped that crutch, gave something a go, you didn't recognize that you could have been doing it by yourself for a very long time. So there is something that you probably had support around you, or there's something you felt comfortable that you always had that support, but there's something where you kind of have to get a little uncomfortable inside yourself. Try to do something a little different. Try to do that thing on your own. See if you, I don't know, I see notes. I don't know why I see notes. Maybe some of you are studying for something. There's something where as soon as you start, you realize you didn't need like the cheat sheet. So it's time to get out there and do something on your own. You're doing something here that's independent. There's something here you're discovering about yourself, which feels really strong. Maybe you're, expressing yourself different. Maybe you're discovering a new talent or a skill. It could even be new experiences that you're discovering. For some of you, I feel like if you typically always go out with the same friend group or the same person, I feel like this is even you like going out solo. By yourself dinner, sit there with a book. Go somewhere that you don't normally go. There's something that you're going to experience, but there's something about this independent energy where it's going to bring the right connection. Or I'm even getting, like, I kind of see like internal dialogue, but I feel like maybe there was too much internal dialogue, and just you doing something a little different. Actually, I'm getting like a flow. Make something flow a little bit easier. I'm also seeing if there's something that you were questioning or something you were confused, concerned about, something like that. It's almost like when you take a break, when you like kind of break out, do something different. Like maybe it's freedom, that you actually find the answer, or you find the clue that you were looking for. It's like you were looking for something that was lost, and I feel like you were only searching in the same room, and it was in the room next door, or it was like down the street, or it was in another town. It's like, no, this is the last place I had it. I had to leave my keys here. And like you've like torn the house apart, and you're going in circles looking for the answer, but the answer is not there. the answer is somewhere else, or it's how you feel different in a different environment that actually brings you the answer that may have been in you all along. It could also be for some of you, I'm getting kind of somebody random. I actually see somebody on the phone. So maybe it's a random phone call you get when you're out, but I feel like you're kind of by yourself, or it could be where you even need a little, I don't know, like I see maybe people around you, but you need to like I'm going to go outside. I have to take this phone call. And then instead of staying in the yard, I actually see somebody going on a long walk. So maybe it's a phone call. Maybe for some of you, you go on a walk, you sit on a bench in a dog park, you know, outside a restaurant or something like that. You start a casual conversation with someone, and I don't even think it's like fishing for anything. I feel like it's very natural. Like it's almost like divine help coming through, almost like a little angel coming through, and they're just talking about their day or something. And there's something in that information that gives you like either relief or an epiphany, or points you in a direction, or gives you a clue. I feel like it's beautiful, but it's not going to happen in the usual surroundings. So you have to be the one to stretch yourself out a little bit. So let's see what this is about. Let's go to something totally different. Let's go to the moonology. I like this deck. It's kind of simple. Clarity on the domestic cat. Maybe some of you are also getting, like I kind of see a kitten. Maybe some of you are getting a kitten. I'm actually getting an interesting energy. Maybe some of you are even like adopting a cat, or it was like kind of a stray cat, but I feel like this is more of an energy thing. So this could even relate to yourself, maybe in a new environment, or this could relate to maybe somebody else coming into your environment. I'm getting that like scared cat, you know, like you bring them home from the shelter or something the first time and they run under the bed. Like there's something about not freaking out the cat energy. That absolutely could be a person. That's kind of what I'm getting. You know, it's like if you run under the bed and you try to grab it, it's like, you know, you're going to freak out the cat, man. The cat doesn't know where it is. So there's something about letting somebody feel like warm and comfortable, you know, explore on their own terms. So they feel like, okay, I guess this is where I'm going to be for a little while. Like maybe I'll come out from under the bed. I'm getting kind of hungry, you know, and getting more comfortable exploring an environment. So maybe it is new. Maybe the people around you are new. Maybe this is a new partnership, something like that. There's something about like not forcing something to open up before it's ready, or get comfortable before it's ready. I feel like something will come to you, or you will come to something on your own terms or in your own timing. But it's a connection of comfort and trust, but that's not happening maybe immediately. And there's something about when the energy of whoever is not the cat energy is kind of relaxed, you know, just on the couch and, you know, on the porch, reading a book, doing its own thing, has a little kitty treats there just in case, got a little kitty treats, but you know, you can come on your own. And there's something about that energy warming up, starting to recognize that there is an even space that they don't have to feel freaked out by. But I'm kind of getting that like, all right, let's, like the cat like got away, like got in the yard, went and explored the yard a little bit. And then there's someone like, oh my gosh, where's the cat? Where is it? Where is it? And then the cat comes back on the porch, you know, and somebody runs out and they're like, oh my gosh, where did you go? You know, they're like crying, and like the cat's probably not going to want to come back in because there's like a freak out energy there. Like, maybe I'll stay out in the yard. But if it's like, oh, you're back. Okay. And then, you know, I just kind of see the person going inside and being like, okay, well, I'm going to leave that door on open for you. And I'll sit here with my tea and my book. I'm going to like, I got the little kitty treats, you know, and I see that cat just being like, oh, well, you know, that was an interesting little romp around the yard, but I really like those kitty treats. So I do see something warming up slowly. I hope that made sense. Let's continue. Continuing on. What is the moonology? No, that went back. What is the moonology message? Wow. Well, that one didn't go back. That flew out sideways. What is this? Oh, well, I like this. It's surrender. But it's not just surrendering to anything. It's surrendering to the divine. Always know your higher self, your soul, God, the universe, always wants the best for you. So if there's something that you are really holding on to or really trying to make happen in a certain time frame, this is just the allowance. That's that energy, you know, sit back, read a book, you got your kitty treats just in case, but you're going to do something in the meantime. It's not just not doing anything. It's doing, you know, something that involves that energy that calls you, listening to the divine messages that you are getting, but it's never forcing it. If you try to force those messages, ego slips on in there, and now it's too much of a hold on something working out as it should. Also, divine timing, if it's that, sometimes it's just kind of annoying because sometimes you do desire for something to happen, to work out. You know, you have your heart in something. You had your plans already made, and sometimes it is a bigger plan in store here for you than, you know, something you had on your schedule. So it is a full moon energy. Maybe something happens around the full moon. I also feel like there's something that will be illuminated to you, something that was dark. You know, when I just picture that, you know, when the full moon is really bright and really big and you walk outside and you can actually see your shadow from the moonlight. It's pretty cool. I'm getting that. Like an unusual situation where maybe you see the shadow, also that full moon or something before, if you try to walk in the new moon and it's really dark and it took a lot to adjust your eyes. You had to have one of those weird headlights to see in the dark. This is something where if you forgot your headlight, you're gifted the illumination to see something that you couldn't see before. You just have to have patience on the right timing of a cycle of something. So let's just keep going bigger. We started in the little house, you know, then we went out to the yard, then we went out to the moon. Let's go to the universe. Let's do this. I usually do this at the end, but I feel like this is the one that was twinkling. So let's get you, I just heard Universal. And I don't know why I just thought of like Universal Studios. Maybe you work for like a theme park or something like that. I don't know why that came through. Universe. Maybe it's a universe of possibilities. Let's see. Clarify domestic cat. Surrender to the divine. Ooh, yeah. I mean, the moon is emotions and insight, intuition, instinct. If something deep within you tells you something right, something's fishy around here, and not the kind that this cat would like to eat, but weird fish that maybe you shouldn't touch. You know, something's not quite right. Whether that's the timing, whether that's somebody's energy, whether that's, you know, that divine guidance, red flag, don't go down the weird alley tonight. Listen to it. You are gifted insight to help you, you know, to bring you towards beautiful things, but also sometimes they bring you to a block and bounce you off a different direction, even if you wanted something to happen there, because it is keeping you safe. Or it's something that maybe is being prepared for you and you were supposed to be in the dark. Maybe something is a surprise. You know, not everything that you are being directed around or away from is negative. Sometimes it's that blessing in disguise. It just has to be the right timing. If something deep in you tells you something isn't quite right, just trust it. If you are unhappy, if you're miserable, if you're just complacent, if you're bored, if you are not smiling on the inside, faking a smile on the outside of something in your life and it's not changing, then you have to be the one to change something. It's not up to the universe to bring everything directly into your life, to make everything all rainbow and rainbows, butterflies, sunshine, unicorns. You know, if you're not taking steps towards what feels vibrant for you, what feels exciting for you. If you keep repeating a cycle over and over, you know, the ebb and the flow, but you never leave that uncomfortable zone, especially if you're vicariously looking out the window, just wishing you got to see what it was like to be in a yard. Then you need to be the one to open the door and go check out the yard. You have to be the one to do something different. And a lot of times that different thing starts as an internal change, which will reflect externally. It's changing your mindset, changing the way you see something, changing something in the moves that you make or the road you usually go down. It's up to you. You know, if you're not happy, what is one thing you can do that is in a different direction or a different step or a different decision that might change an outcome, that might take you one step closer to something you're excited about, that makes you smile? Stop making excuses. Oh, it's because you have to wait for the right timing, or you have to wait for, the finances to be in order to do that, or you have to wait for that person to, open up and make that phone call, or you have to wait for, this plan that you have the last 3 years to be perfect, and then that person will love you, or you have to wait till you have the complete education to reach out, maybe make the phone call on that job. Maybe not. Maybe you're only I actually see somebody that maybe you're still learning about something. Maybe there's a place you want to work. Maybe there's a place for you to go in and volunteer or be an apprentice, and you can actually start to work while you're still working on your education, but you needed to open your mouth. You needed to make the phone call. Sometimes it's taking steps to something that has not yet been created for you because you had to be the catalyst in the door knock, in the phone call, in, throwing the monkey wrench in a situation to get somebody else to think, to maybe create something for an opportunity for you. If you just assume it's not going to be there, maybe somebody didn't know that you needed an opportunity, or that you were interested in something, or you were interested in them. So you are in control of your own life. If any of you are allowing anybody else to constantly narrate your story, or, tell you the perfect direction you have to go, but then your gut is saying, I know the book says I'm always supposed to go that way, or I'm following the treasure map and it says 40 paces to the left is the treasure, but then I always get there and I feel like I'm digging forever and never finding anything. Then maybe you need to listen to your insight. Maybe the map was upside down. Maybe that person gave you the map, but they've already been to that location and dug up the treasure. So you have to really learn to navigate your own situation accordingly. I hope that made sense. That was kind of interesting stuff that came through. Let's go mysterious. Let's go to the mystery deck. I'm going to keep it like this. Every time I put it back, I try to shuffle it up again, but let's just pull you a couple of messages and see what comes out and get a little deeper on the... Wow, same exact... Wow, I love this. I don't even know how many cards are in here, but I find that these cards, maybe because I put my energy into them. I had my, beautiful intentions for them to be helpful, for, them to be kind of neutral as well. Even though there's all different subjects that come up here, but I find that they're very accurate. Something deep within you tells you that something is not quite right. Trust it. If something deep within you feels like it's giving you butterflies, making you feel like you're, I'm getting like flittering, like a little fairy, like you're almost elevating, like it uplifts you. Trust that too. Your gut doesn't always just turn from weird things. Your gut is also sensitive to feeling vibrations first. Sometimes before, your spiritual insight through your third eye or your pineal gland come in, because your body can have an instant reaction. If you get a gut feeling that a certain person is just kind of amazing, like your gut just tells you don't even know why you like this person. You just sort of groove with them, even though they're really different. Then also trust that. Sometimes this is like a feeling that you have to be at a certain place at a certain time, and it's not on the schedule. You have no idea why you got that urge, but it's following the urge. So, wow, I like that. Let's get you another one. What else? What else would be helpful? I did see the treasure map. So, maybe this is the last piece of the puzzle. Maybe you doing one thing different and, not making any excuses yet surrendering to the outcome and trusting that you will figure it out along the way. Maybe it's the next step you're paying attention to, but maybe as soon as you put that piece in the puzzle, all of a sudden the entire puzzle, the entire landscape, what you thought you were putting together changes. You know, it's like you have all of the elements there, but there's something about that puzzle not being flat and bland and boring, and that's the way it is. And, you know, you're going to shake it up and put it together again, and it's the same picture. It's almost more mysterious than that. I'm getting that every time you put it in, you think you have the last piece of the puzzle, and there's more mystery to uncover. It's like it changes into something kind of Harry Potter-like, you know, the pictures are always kind of moving like a kaleidoscope. I'm also getting that weird magic eye thing again. I don't even know if they sell those books anymore, but it's those books they used to have, like, I don't know, in the 90s, you know, where it kind of just looks like patterns. But then you surrender your eyes, you soften your gaze. You don't focus on one thing, you don't focus on the whole thing, you kind of focus on nothing. It's really weird. You like unfocus your eyes, and all of a sudden something pops, and all of a sudden, you know, where it was just this weird pattern, all of a sudden you see a whole scene that was there the whole time, and it's 3D, but you have to keep that slight unfocus of your eyes to keep seeing it. Once you focus in, it's gone. So I am getting it's something like that. It's maybe how you had to change your focus of something that could have been right in front of you the whole time, but you had to kind of relax something to see it, allow something, and yet then once you see it, you know it's there. There's something about that last piece coming in, that last bit of information, or that last, I hear twist. I don't know why I saw the left brain firing and the right, and then like the right. So maybe it's a multitasking thing. It could also be balancing that logical and intuitive side together. I don't know. It's interesting. I see a brain, and I see it kind of fired up and like kind of like kaleidoscope, kind of cool looking, but I see like a heart in it. I feel like there's a heart. So maybe it's connecting the head to the heart. Maybe this is a decision about the heart, or your heart is pulling you in a direction, but your brain is kind of, you know, getting you all wobbly. Maybe there's a way to find that beautiful balance of it all. Let's get you another one. Wow. Well, that's beautiful. Maybe angels are stepping in to help you find what you thought was missing. Maybe what you thought was missing was accessible to you all along. This is also you getting that guidance. I hear for bigger and brighter things. Big changes. Not having to rely on, I did that, sorry. Hopefully she doesn't bark. I'm going to try to not pause it. You know, maybe it's that, maybe it's somebody that's like a knock. I feel like when angels are stepping in, they step in big. When it's like divine intervention, when they know you should be at that crossroads again, when they know there's something that you were meant for, and you know, you really got off path. They're going to be like, we're going to really give you a little pusheroo over here. But usually angels don't step in until they're asked. They're not going to invade our space. They are here to protect us. There are certain things that they will, you know, put their beautiful wings of guidance around us and make sure we are safe. But they can come in and help at any time. I always like to say angels of, you know, divine light and love, so that you have angels of very high vibration that are there for the highest and greatest good of all. And all you need to do is, you know, ask. But there's nothing wrong with going directly to the source and then saying, hey, you know, angels stepping on in. But if there are energies of love that can help me out, or spirit guides, or something from another galaxy far away that my little brain can't even imagine, but it's of love and it has the information or has the guidance to help me, be open to it. Or at least that's my personal, you know, that's what I say. Like, I don't know everything. Like, maybe there's angels, but I feel like that's such a small little thing of what's out there in the universe. So I trust source down to whatever, as long as it's in that vibration of love, you allow it to come in. But you never have to like sever or feel like you have to go to an in-between to have that direct connection to God, to the universe, to your higher self. You are a child of God. So you do have beautiful angels of love stepping in to help you surrender, to help something, you know, maybe be pushed a little fast in this divine timing, to do something independently, or help you recognize you never needed the training wheels the whole time. Or maybe it's even in a connection you have with a certain person. Let's do this. Oh, wow. I love this. It's the divine clown. The Hyoka is a really powerful empath. This comes up a lot with you guys. A Hyoka is somebody, it's an archetype. And it's somebody who is, that's somebody who would feel every little ripple of the collective. A Hyoka is somebody that is almost like a gift to society, to humanity. They often feel like an outsider. A Hyoka often feels like in relationships they're misunderstood. They're definitely an empath. They feel others' energies. They have to learn to recognize what's others' energies, what's the collective, what's that person they're dealing with, what is their own. But there's something that is given to them that is a gift, that their delivery of something is so even the weirdest, harshest things that might be out there in society and be out there in the news or the media or generational or in your, even in your neighborhood, in your family, whatever it is. It's usually bigger though, where it's just accepted to be true. That's the way it's always been. And then there's the Hyoka that comes in and they look at that puzzle and they're like, I don't think so. And they're like, yeah, it doesn't really feel right. I know everybody goes that direction, and that's what's like put in the educational books, but it doesn't feel right. And the Hyoka is like the comedian that gets up there, and it's like the court gesture. It's the only one that can get the information through because of the delivery. If somebody else delivered that information, they were like, this is not right, it has to be this, and they would probably be, I see like the tomatoes thrown at somebody. Or they would be, what is that where somebody has like credentials and then they're like ridiculed? This is somebody that gets away with really speaking the truth to where it's heard, because it's like, oh, ha, ha, that's so funny. But it's like, oh, wait, they get people thinking. So it's done kind of through the back door, a little undertoned, a little like, oh, it was just making fun, it was just humor, but yet not. It's actually truth delivered in a very genuine, divine way. Maybe that's somebody you're meeting. Maybe that's the last piece of the puzzle. Maybe that's helping you understand more about yourself. I would say if that resonates with you, maybe look up this. I would also say maybe look up other archetypes and see if there's maybe a different one that you kind of connect to. That's powerful. That being said, I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to switch it up since the Hyoka came through. Let's get an archetype for you. I do have them here. So let's get you another archetype. These are so complex that I will read from the book. I don't always read from the book, but with this one, I feel like I feel like it does it justice. The words are beautiful. The imagery is beautiful, but maybe that's our thing. There's a lot of symbolism. I'm going to take it. I flew out. You got the kiss. So maybe for some of you, it's about a person. Maybe the energy's in somebody's kiss. Maybe it's, I don't know why I see I just saw like, it's really weird. I just saw like Sleeping Beauty. It's like the kiss of life. There's something about somebody's hand. Also, you go from that new moon now to the full moon. And also when I see this, I see an eye. It's almost like the window to somebody's soul. Like you're looking in somebody's eye. I did see all that brain stuff before, but there's something deeper. You see the truth in somebody's eyes, maybe in the way they look at you. Even if somebody is just, let's just say I saw some, you know, the talking on the bench to a stranger when they're talking, and you look at them and they're talking about maybe a project they're working on or a person that they love or something that they've gone through. Whether it's a twinkle in their eye out of excitement and just passion, and you can see that truth. You can see it in the tiny little micro expressions of someone's eye. You can also see if somebody is not quite genuine. You can also see if somebody is, you know, maybe they have the smile on their face, but in their eyes, you can almost soulfully or soul to soul see if somebody has, even if they're not coming out, like tears, you know, right behind their eyes, not coming out, but there's something like, you know, that glass. So there's something I'm getting here about the truth of someone's soul, or really looking into someone's eyes, maybe the touch of their energy or their hand. And I totally hear Faith Hill. Just to throw that in there. This kiss. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. It's like humming in my head. Wanna be. It's like very, very like it's not quite coming out, but that song, it's very country. So let's see what this is. Do I have the book? I hope I do. Let's see what the kiss is. And after all of that, I don't even know if I got my glasses. I don't think I do. I thought I brought them. Let me go grab them. Hold on. All right. I even use Windex on these because I always do my glasses are always dirty. Okay, the kiss. Well, all right. There's definitely a little romance in the air here. The kiss is the touch, the chemistry, and the sex. Before a first kiss. Ooh, this is going to be a sassy one. I'm letting you know. Before a first kiss, the air is electrified. Each breath is alive. Didn't I say something before? Like the Sleeping Beauty thing? Like that's kind of what I saw. Each breath is alive with possibility and magic. What will their lips be like? Their tongue. Oh God, I'm going to be blushing in this one. Do they want me in return? The archetypal energy of the kiss is a heightened sensation of merging with other, of letting in what was moments ago separate to become one. When to become one, I give some love like I never needed love before. Make love to you, baby. Had another lover. Now I'm back for more. Wow. I just got sassy and then spice on you guys. It's little Spice Girls. All right. To become one. Is it risky? It is risky, but beautiful business. But beautiful. That's it's actually a really pretty jazz song. These moments forever change us as we move past the solitary self towards union and acceptance. Maybe some of you have a good makeout session coming up. I'm kind of excited for you. Maybe it's just that beautiful, awkward, but a magical first kiss. Maybe for some of you, it's not awkward at all. It's true intimacy is just around the corner, and it requires bravery. Look at this. And surrender. If somebody is trying to control a kiss, that's probably not a good kisser. You know, it's just being in it. When the kiss takes a non-human form, okay, we're going to go out of sassy land a little, a non-human form. It may be experienced as touching the sacred, the divine, hearing a whisper, and being graced by a divine being. You will recognize the presence of the kiss by the cold chills. Like, ooh, it's not like weird chills, gut churning. it's energy. It's like when I get a message and I get the goosies, you know, my hair stands up. When I get the big messages, I literally get a like little zap through my body. My little, you know, hairs stand up. It's kind of like that. You will recognize the presence of the kiss by cold chills and an awakening of the heart. I did see a heart in the head. Sensual expressiveness merging, and inviting is upright or light. Neediness, pressure, dominance, and disrespect is dark. And go deeper. Andy Warhol's 1963 film Kiss. And write down the story of your first kiss. Do you remember your first kiss? Like, was it just like on the cheek? I can remember the first time. It was behind the lockers. I remember it was like quick on the cheek, and then I ran to the school bus. What changed in that moment? And then intimacy is multi-layered, and it requires our reflection. Revisit what you consider to be sensual, taboo, acceptable, shameful. You know, what feels like truth in you, what was taught, what do you feel like would be judged, you know, what do you not care? You know, maybe this is finding the right person that you just kind of groove with. It's all about vulnerability, honesty, you know. I don't know, I kind of feel like you have somebody that you can be completely open with, either coming on in, divinely guided towards, and maybe this is you just being open with yourself. If that's not, you know, sensuality with somebody else, it's just embodying that sensual energy with you, taking yourself out to dinner. I can buy myself flowers, got my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, so things you don't understand, you know. Oh my gosh, the music today. I guess we're gonna do the weird one. Should we go weird? Yeah, because this doesn't match at all, and we're just going to keep on bouncing around. I did bring like the Granny's postcards tarot. I do kind of like it. It's sort of different. I don't use it that often. And I don't always get the typical messages. And sometimes I get weird messages. So I like weird. Let's go for it. Let's see what some extra messages from the tarot have to say on Trust Your Gut. Hey, Yoka, angels stepping in the kiss. Surrender to the divine. Something deep within you. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your... Wow, music today. Hopefully, maybe you're a musician or maybe you just connect to music. I will put, always, if you're new here, all of the songs. I do extra work for you so you don't have to go looking for it. Just go down to the description and, you know, scroll down. And I'm going to put all of the songs in there, and you can just be like, oh, that one kind of twinkled for me. I haven't heard the Bee Gees in a while. I haven't listened to Spice Girls in forever. They were so cool. Hit it and listen. See if there's something extra. I find that there might be something extra in the music if it comes through in a reading. And yeah, if you feel like called to it, check it out. See, maybe just listen to the music. All right, let's see. Trust your gut. All right, let's get you some tarot. What are some tarot messages that would be helpful? No, it went back. I want something to flip out. Show me something that will flip out. Freak out! Oh my God, the music today. Love freak, so chic. Freak out! I don't even know who sings that. I don't know. I kind of got it. We went disco, 90s, Ace of Pentacles. Whatever is coming in, you got the Ace. Look at you. You're like on a peppermint parachute coming back down to earth. You got to see the elevated perspective. You jumped off the moon. Something flew you to the moon and back. And this is you coming back down to earth because now you see that landscape different. This could also be somebody coming in your life with that beautiful seed of potential. They're like, if I have to jump out of an airplane to get to you with this seed, because there is something here that is long lasting. There's something they recognize in you, whether that's somebody you might work for, somebody that wants to help you in a project. This is you going to a different territory, be like, I need to get on a plane. That last place I was trying to plant my seeds was totally the wrong soil. Never got any nourishment. No matter how many times I drug that garden hose out there, it just never grew. So sometimes this is taking that beautiful seed of potential, you, the potential in you, grounding it on earth, starting something in your everyday reality so it can grow, so it gets past the beginning. You have all the potential in the world for something to flourish in your life. Maybe it starts with that leap of faith. Maybe it starts with an elevated perspective. Maybe it's getting out of only the ether and the elevated energies and actually seeing what the first step is to ground that dream come true. Maybe somebody finds you, their dream come true. You know, your kiss flew them to the moon. Now all of a sudden they're like, wow, I want to be flying to the moon with you every day. Don't worry, I got the parachute. Upside down, it's just not the right energy or effort into something, or it's someone that perhaps gave that beautiful pentacle to the wrong environment, or didn't put enough effort into it. Maybe just even hinted about a solid offer, but they never arrived in their parachute. It's like, where are they? Where did they go to the wrong place? They said they're, you know, I had that everything ready here to go. I thought they were jumping down the parachute. We were going to go on a date. So, I mean, it's also Ace of Pentacles. It could be a big purchase, buying a car. That car gets you to school. That car gets you to the job. That car gets you somewhere. It could be an investment on a property. It's usually something that you invest in your people, places, things, you know, arenas of life, anything that you can touch and has the potential to help you bring more abundance into your life. Sometimes it's starting a business, but you needed to make a purchase on that one tool that you needed. You stalled on ever like doing something because you're like, oh, I don't know, that one tool, I would have to get a loan for it. I would have to like listen to all these instructional videos, and I have to, learn a little bit. I have to go to those classes to know how to use it, ride my tractor, whatever it is. And you're like, it seems like too much. I'm just not going to do it. Maybe that's worth it. Get past that beginning thing and see what you need to do to make something happen. Why is the Ace of Pentacles here? This new beginning, this it's like reliability. What is this? The Nine of hold on, this is why I love these cards. So maybe, this tangible offer is coming after. You put a lot of effort into finding the last piece of that puzzle before that new beginning. You had to run away from some weird, like out of control cows and run up a tree. There's two people in a tree. So maybe there's something about branching up or learning to climb, getting your strength. Maybe you have to get to that top of the tree instead of outside the plane to see that terrain different. I don't know. You got like a runaway cow here. Oh my God. Welcome to my readings. But it doesn't really look like that cow is really going after. I feel like the cow just wanted some grass. The cow just wanted the hay that's stuck in your pocket. It's like the cow knew you had an apple in your pocket. Like, why are you going up the tree? So Nine of Wands sometimes is where somebody is just over it too. If there's someone here and something's not quite right and you feel like you're constantly in a battle, it's like every time you go outside, those damn cows keep chasing you up a tree. Then you have to be the one to do something different. Maybe stay outside the fence, maybe put an apple in your pocket, or, carry some grass. And you're like, okay, I know you always run after me. How about we try this different and see if that works? It's knowing when you've just, reached your ending point and when everything that you went through was worth that new beginning, was worth finding that person, was worth understanding something about yourself, was worth finally getting the last piece of the puzzle or turning your map to the right, upright instead of upside down. That person in the background there. It looks like you have help here, but maybe you felt like you were, chased up a tree. You didn't know how to come down. You're so scared of that cow being down there. Upside down, it's kind of feeling overwhelmed, sometimes giving up too soon, but sometimes it's that energy of surrender. Like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to be in a battle. You know, I want to feel like I can be sitting down and comfortable and hanging out with my cow or bull here. And it's more like Ferdinand under the tree instead of, you know, the bull in the china shop. So I kind of feel like somebody felt a little bit overwhelmed. Somebody felt like they were in battle. They're given a lot. They don't know if they can do anymore. Maybe in the end, something that you went through, you find out was worth it. Maybe it took a lot of strength to surrender to a situation or to surrender to a new beginning. Why is the Nine of Wands here? It's sometimes the wounded healer as well. Oh, wow, you have the Empress. So I'm going to read it upside down first because the Empress upside down, it's interesting. You got a cat. You have the cat. I have two cats. So when the Empress is upside down, the Empress is not tapped into her divinity. She forgot to pray, or her ego is praying for the wrong things. The Empress upside down sometimes is like a stage mom. Oh, my kid has the best meow in the world. We're going to go take them to, you know, we're going to get you at the front of the line. They're going to like, kind of like be like, oh, no, we were here first, you know, and then they go in there. They're like, oh, well, it's good my kid is here because, you know, the next 5 I saw online out there definitely didn't have the meow of the century. It's like they want the best for their kid. They recognize the talent. You know, they're kind of doing something to help, but it's that pushy ass energy. Sometimes the Empress upside down is also the energy where it's not that beautiful, like, she should be the Empress. The Empress should be like, she's like, you know, she's so amazing. But when she's upside down, she's not giving that love into herself. She can be overgiving and not nourishing herself. She could be accepting less than she deserves because she does recognize the potential in something, but there's like a disconnect. When the Empress is upside down, she's kind of like, I'm just getting a weird, we're going to go with mother just because it is a mother kind of energy. So maybe this is someone's mother. They really want their kid to be on the football team, but they keep failing the test. If you fail the test, you're going to be kicked off the team. How are you going to get that scholarship? You're the best on the team, man. So she does all the homework for the kid. You know, changes everything, but then the kid never learns the lesson. If the kid really wanted to be on the football team, maybe there's something you can do different. Maybe it's getting a tutor. Maybe that teacher doesn't connect to that information or that knowledge going through. But doing it for something or someone, enabling somebody, you're putting somebody at a disadvantage. Sometimes you got to learn things the hard way. Upright, she's the one that recognizes, okay, you know what, the teacher my kid has just doesn't connect. You know, they're just reading the old textbook of what they're supposed to do. My kid is really intelligent and gets bored in that class really fast. So how can we still get that information so they find that, you know, knowledge that they don't really know or they know better than anyone, but they have to learn that test. How can we get it so it's heard? Maybe we'll get a tutor. Maybe we'll do it fun. Maybe we'll do experiments at home. You know, she'll think of something outside, but she still wants the best for whatever she's nurturing or birthing or taking care of. She's long lasting. You know, when she is upright, she's not above anyone or overpowering or smothering. When she's upright, she's the energy that is on the same level. So let's just, you know, I'm getting kid here, and there is something lucky about that little kitten. You know, has a little scroll, little information. It's like, I believe in you. I got you. You got this. You know, you're amazing. If you don't, you know, we'll you know, move something around and figure it out. It's unconditional love. No matter if it's a pass or fail, football team or not. You know, I don't know why I just saw science fair. You know, I got like blank. Okay, so if she is upright, she's like the one on the ground, eye level to a kid, not always on top. She's like playing. She gets the respect, but she doesn't make the younger energy feel overpowered. if she is the lover, let's just take her a different direction. If the Empress is the lover, I mean, she's the ultimate wife or business partner, best friend, because she trusts that divine intuition. She's the one that can run her own business. She doesn't need anyone else. She doesn't need an emperor to do whatever she wants. She's the Empress, man. Everybody wants to be around the Empress. She's got it going on. She knows when to sit back and relax. She knows when to pursue and to do. She knows how to be loving and nurturing and romantic and sassy. She knows when she can be funny. She knows when to be silent and listen. She knows how to give wise advice if somebody reaches out and needs her. And she will always be there, unconditionally and non-judgmental. But she also wants everyone that she is helping, everyone that she cares about, to be their best. And yet recognizes if it's somebody else's lesson to learn, she's not going to do it for them. She recognizes that there is more strength in somebody going through their own lesson than to always be the crutch or the training wheels on somebody else's situation. She does recognize that somebody maybe at one point does need a little bit of the support stick or something like that. But she also recognizes when she has to let something go and allow someone the chance to see they could have done it themselves the whole time. You know, the Empress isn't somebody, where's that one thing? It's not somebody who's codependent, although she's probably the best partner you could ever have. It's the divine feminine. Upside down, it's somebody who's not in their divinity. Maybe they're over dependent on everyone else. Maybe they put other people in the position where they have to be dependent on her. It's like stripping that spiritual energy away, and she's too sucked into the society, or sucked into her own little world, or sucked into everybody else's world and forgetting about her own. Whew. You know, there's different ways to read the energies, but let's hope she's upright. You know, if you get a weird feeling about somebody that's an upside down Empress, maybe that's where you're, you know, getting in a plane, getting in your peppermint parachute, surrendering to, you know, the new territory you don't know, and seeing that maybe there's somebody who's going to give you the kiss of a lifetime. But if the Empress is somebody in your life or embodying you, or somebody that has inspired you and she is upright, I mean, she's somebody that will be there forever. She's somebody that would want to see her project leave the nest. She doesn't want to be starting something and then it's just stagnant and stuck. She wants to see something grow because she can have her own kingdom. So it doesn't have to be that she births a person. She can birth an idea, her business, you know, her talent, whatever it is that she wants to nurture and attend to. She's all in. The Empress wants to do something. There's no stopping her. But she also knows when to stop anything that is not there for her highest and greatest good. She also recognizes that something may have come in her life that wasn't quite the best thing because she had value from that lesson learned. Now she knows how to do something different for the future. What is at the bottom? Oh yeah, strength. Oh yeah, you got all this cat energy. I mean, a little cat and cow. You have these kittens here. You have this cat here, and it looks like you're going from a little domestic cat scared under the bed, and now you got your lion. Look at that lion tamer. So maybe it is Leo energy. You have Leo in your chart, maybe even Taurus, because I see that here, but it could be Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Here, there's not really many other signs in this reading. Earthy, fiery. Strength comes through when you're ready to embody it. Strength comes through when you see you're powerful enough and kind enough and gentle enough. Now you took that little scared kitty from the shelter, sitting down, reading your book with your little kitty treats, and now you're like, my kitty wasn't a normal kitty. I didn't know I just adopted a tiger. So you're like, I guess I got to get something bigger than kitty treats. So, maybe those kitty treats worked, but you had to grow with something. You're like, I got you a steak today. You ready? I got you some filet mignon. But the strength energy comes in when it's not overpowering, overbearing, even in that lusty energy of want and desire and, you know, down kitty. It's like, man, that's going to get, you know, there's something different about coming in with a steak, coming in with the honey, having this, you know, this loyalty, this trust. She has the whip there, but she's probably just making a sassy sound in the air and then moving her little hip to make a show. I don't think she really has to, you know, go towards that tiger, you know. But I mean, I don't know anything about lion training, but the energy of this is not that. You know, maybe that was an energy of the past. Someone's had to put you in your place. I don't know why I see somebody clapping. You know, when someone's really mad and they clap, it's like, I kind of see that, like, what? Don't you clap at me. It should be the other kind of clap, like, yay, good job. Ooh, that was a weird thing to see. So I feel like there's a twist on how you see different things. There's something here with humility and loyalty and that strength and quiet. You know, let's just take her out of that and how strong she is. That tiger walks in a room, doesn't need to growl to prove how strong he or she is. You know it. So sometimes the strength is a proper timing thing. I'm also getting that leash thing, because in the Thoth, this is actually called lust. And it's telling you that there is an animalistic side of all of us, that instinctual side of all of us. That is part of our humanity. You know, we're beautiful, divine children of God, but we're also human. You know, so there's those instinct energies that kick in when we feel threatened, or we feel scared, or we're excited, you know, that come in. Sometimes I don't know why I'm getting the freeze, fight, and there's another one, it's called fawn. So maybe it's recognizing more about yourself, instant reactions when you feel like you're in battle, or when you think something is chasing you, or when it is actually chasing you. There's something about something being contained, because here it's like that's energy. It's almost like if somebody was holding back on this energy of something they really felt for another. I'm getting chemistry here now, very end, you know, and they were always like containing themselves, like, no. I'm kind of getting like a little bit of like, that is, what did it say? Question, you know, something's like, I don't know what it said. Taboo. Maybe there's a taboo relationship coming in. You know, maybe somebody had a lot of passion or enthusiasm or energy or something, and somebody just kind of held back, like they were holding themselves back on a leash. If anybody else was holding you back on a leash, I feel like you need to get out the clippers and cut that leash. Let something off the leash a little bit, because if you're always keeping everything contained, I feel like you're never going to get out in the yard. You're never going to have that sassy moment. You're never going to make out in the back seat. It's like maybe releasing that leash on something is the last piece of the puzzle. It's also like that mother bird energy, you know, you want, let's just say it is even, you know, having a training. Let's go to dogs here. You know, you want, you know, if you're walking in the city, you want to have your dog on a leash. Always. It's the rule. You know, you have to follow it. But you want to know that that connection you have, you can actually take the leash off and something chooses to be with you out of, you know, respect. Whether that's even, I'm not getting like alpha, you know, because that's more like dogs. I'm not getting like the alpha of a situation, but maybe somebody tried to be the alpha. They always want to be in charge. They always wanted to be the one in power. And maybe it's something here where this is different. Because this energy is where it's even. You know, the Empress doesn't really mind if somebody, you know, knows a little more than her or is a little bit younger, but there's something beautiful about that Empress energy where it's just equal. She wants to be with her equal. Not somebody who's on a pedestal, and not someone she had to like tame. She wants somebody to be there genuinely and even if there's a lot of, I'm even getting, even if there's a lot of growth that has happened, or loyalty, or trust that has had to occur on a certain connection. She knows eventually it'll come through. And if it doesn't, she's the Empress, something else will be attracted to her that is right. And I feel like that's our message. I love you so much. I'm going to end this reading right now. And with this, I bid you adieu. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.